Hey everybody, welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey everybody, my name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
We are dumb. It's official. 200 episodes in, and
201 now.
201 episodes in, and it's official. We're dumb dads.
Oh no, this is 202.
Oh,
We did a mailbag for 201.
Well, then here we are. We're
Dumb.
we're that dumb. It's
Is
it's
this
been
our
a long
podcast, or are we guest on
It's
it?
been a long case study. You're a guest on my podcast right now, but I'm also a guest on your podcast right now. If that makes sense.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, right. You can kind of think of it that way.
You started it
So perform
this week,
accordingly.
so it's your
So it's my podcast this week.
it's your podcast.
Welcome in. I have a special guest today. Kevin is a dumb dad, and
It's great to be back.
He'll prove accordingly. Yeah, we squeezed a mailbag in there. We'll jump into why in a second. We'll get some housekeeping out of the way as to why. But yeah, episode 202. Still recovering from the hot wings. You recovered?
No, I was
recovered?
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I had oatmeal before. I had oatmeal before. Well, my wife read,
I know she did. She told me multiple times.
eat oatmeal before you put poisonous, spicy wing sauce down your gullet. And I was
Doesn't
like,
that?
yes, ma'am.
I know. It just sounds like something an old person told her in like a food aisle.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've all seen hot ones, and none of the things that they suggest work. We have seen everybody chug like a gallon of milk on the, or they need ice cream, or they suck on ice cubes, or they put chapstick, or whatever. Everybody's done everything, and they still suffer accordingly. Which we did. It was very spicy. It was very difficult to get through.
Yeah,
but we did it.
Check it out. The full thing is on YouTube. So if you
super fun.
It's not on the podcast forum because, and I want to say this as somebody who edited part of a very small part of. I started it for my wife. The hot wings portion, so gross from an editing standpoint.
The chewing,
so disgusting because I had headphones on.
You can get rid of. How do they do it?
I'll tell you how they do it. They go, here's this one Scoville of burn a hole in your body. And then
hole in your colon.
They take a bite, and then you don't really see them eating again.
That's what I was thinking. We would just cut it out.
Yeah, you and I are not.
Or we were just chewing and chewing and chewing.
Chewing and chatting. That's what it was. A chew chat, and it was disgusting.
Oh, what a bunch of rookies. It's almost like we've never done Hot Ones episode before.
Yeah, it was awful. If you have misophonia,
produced,
don't check it out.
Participated.
No, we did cut. We did cut a lot of the chewing. I just mean from an editing standpoint, nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare.
So if you guys want to see how we fared with the Hot Wings Challenge, head over to our YouTube channel.
Fared against the fire.
Head over to that YouTube channel and subscribe. Follow.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Post noties. Post notifications. Whatever. Just watch them.
Put a comment on there first.
And then we usually put a little cookie on there. If you're first, you get a cookie. Mm-hmm. Here we are. A month into school, and it feels like summer has just been over for me.
Well, explain why we did a mailbag.
Right. Yeah. So I was kind of getting there. Goodness. We kind of went over this earlier that at the very beginning of school, my wife got COVID.
Yep.
For the first time. And then sharing is caring. We all know that. We preach that to our children. My wife shared COVID with me.
Yep.
And tooting my own horn here, we were very diligent and careful, and we're quarantining in the bedroom and sleeping on the couch and everything we could do to avoid the children getting it, because we also just needed to get back on track into the school year with our lives.
You just needed to get on track.
On track in any
way.
You
weren't back on track.
No. Yeah, we arrived at the train and it was like laying on its side.
Yeah.
And we put our bags in there, and miracle, our children did not get COVID from us. I don't know how, but they didn't get COVID from us. We were like so ecstatic, and then
I always say I admire the fact that you never hug your children. I think that's nice. It's old fashioned.
Well, it pays in the long run.
Yeah.
Actually, in the short run, because they didn't get COVID. I think in the long run, we'll pay heavily.
That's why
in therapy,
people didn't get sick in the olden days when we didn't have a good medicine. They just never
just don't touch me or look at me. Get away from me.
Go work in the factory.
We need to get out of New York City.
You're almost 9 now.
And then we were in the clear and everything was good to go. And we were like, oh my gosh, finally we can get over this. And then we came over. We did our 200th episode. And then the next morning, my daughter tested positive for COVID.
Yep.
And it was like, doing it all over again for 2 weeks, in and out of school, kids missing days of school, and everything. And it's like, I've seen you like once in a month.
And then she gave it to her brother.
And she gave it to her, again, we really do not believe in hugging in our family, but we believe in sharing is caring. And it's a big thing. So 2 weeks later, we were finally, after a month, we were finally through it all. What a whirlwind of COVID-19. It feels like COVID-23 at this point. I mean, where are we on this? But we did it. We got through it somehow.
The number's not wise.
No, I know, Kevin. It just felt
you
like...
You can't say that. There have been actual people of power who have said that's what it was.
Not me. I have zero power.
I just want the dumb part of the Dumb Dad podcast to be of our organically bad parenting.
I agree. I understand. Thank you. Yes. Correct. Don't want to stray away from that.
Yeah, you guys told us your kids tested positive. I was like, okay. I don't know why. I think because you and your wife had already had it. And when you told me your daughter had it, I was like, I'm not jinxing myself because I'm not going to pretend like my daughter's not going to go to school tomorrow and some kids might have COVID. I'm not saying we've avoided COVID. Right lunch. I'm saying I felt confident when you told me. I was like, I think we might get out of this one. I don't know why.
Good for you.
And
it's good.
It worked. But
confidence is, after all, king, Kevin. You walk right past security, you just start filling your bag, and you just walk around. If you do it with confidence, no one's going to say anything. I don't know why.
Try that at the airport.
Yeah, I've tried. I didn't really know. I don't know why I just went right with like a theft example.
Where are you that there's security that you can walk past, fill the bag? Are you talking about a bank?
No, I'm talking about like at a candy store.
They don't have security.
No, right. Security is also the teenager working the register
who just will go, come on, man.
And that's about all you get. But if you're walking with confidence, you don't hear that. You're walking out with a pound of sours. I don't know. Don't steal. Anyway, that's our update. That's why we squeezed another episode in, because I haven't seen you in like a month, and it's been tough.
It's been tough. It's been a month. We've been back in school. We've been doing it.
Yep.
I've been in the PTA game. Yep. I had my back to school night.
Back in the game.
Tonight. As of this
back to school night was tonight?
Was tonight.
Back to school night is a wild scenario. It's like, because our back to school, we just talked about this before the podcast. Our back to school night was like 2 weeks into school. Yours is like a month into school.
Right.
Why? I don't know which one makes more sense. Welcome to school. This is what your kids have been talking about with us. This is where we do this. This is our morning thing. This is our calendar. This is what we talk about. And then this is what we're going to be talking about this school year. It's the same talk.
It's the same talk. I will say I liked, not that I was at yours, but like I will say what I liked.
You don't scout all of them?
I go to as many as I can.
Yeah. You just couldn't make it this year.
Yeah, I just couldn't make it this year.
Well, our school was
like a lot of COVID there.
We had a lot of COVID at our school.
Really do my research.
Let's look at the hot spots. I'm not going there.
I will say I liked what they did at mine because it was mostly like, I said to my wife, because I went.
I said to my wife,
they encourage you to not bring your children to these events. So my wife stayed home because I was doing stuff with the PTA.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people brought their kids.
Oh, you shouldn't do that. They're not invited.
Well, a lot of people don't have options, which is a big part of it.
You can leave them at home or in the car.
Single parents can't.
In the car?
We're almost at car weather.
That's true. Not yet.
Not yet, guys.
Not here.
I will say it was, at least based on what they talked about, I'm glad they waited a month in, because there was a little bit of like talking about stuff they've already gone over, which helped, make it a meatier conversation. Whereas what they went over, I said to my wife, for the most part, is stuff that like, if you weren't paying attention to any of the emails or the like welcome to school stuff, this would have been an eye-opening experience for you.
Well, you figure, 60% of the people have no idea how to log into anything they send you.
Yeah. So it was a lot of the same stuff.
It is a learning experience for a lot of people.
It was a lot of the same stuff. But I was so fried because I was, dropped the kids off, came home, did some work. Then I went to the school, helped out with setting up for the event tonight because PTA was doing some stuff. And then kept doing stuff. And then went home again, went back, set up. We did a whole thing. It was fun. And then it was time to go to the classrooms. And then I've been on the school campus. I have no excuse for this. I went on the school campus, went to my son's class, hung out there for a half hour where she gave her speech. Then they do a second show.
A second show.
They do 2 showings.
Intermission.
So then I just started wandering, and then I went and poked my head in one classroom, and I was like, "Well, that's not it." And then I went into another classroom, poked my head, and I was like, "That's not it." And then the principal saw me, and she goes, "You looking for your daughter's class?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have no idea where it is."
Don't even know where your daughter's class.
I do know. I've seen it a million times. And she goes, "It's the building next to this one." And I was like, did one of those like lean back. I thought that building was this building. Mm-hmm. And I was real turned around. I'm so tired.
I'm the president of the PTA.
Yeah.
I don't have time to learn where things are in the school.
We're not going to hit our goals this year.
The thermometer is not getting colored in all the way.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. That's hilarious.
She's like, "Are you looking for your child's classroom?"
Getting
I was
called
like,
out.
"Yeah, I don't."
No, I'm looking for the bathroom.
No.
I use the restroom. Who are you?
Is this the right school?
Yeah. I've been to a lot of schools this year. Let me tell you, I just do a lot of scouting. Well, the year has officially started for me. I'm out of summer. That's what it feels like. It took so long to get, we all go through that thing where it's like we get back into school and then it's like the first week of school, somebody comes home sick.
Oh, yeah.
Which we actually were sick. And then we sent them to school. And then 2 weeks in, then they came home sick, which is kind of an interesting way to go about it. We like to mix it up every year, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it felt like this last week, getting the kids finally back in all the way, it was like, okay, now we're in school. Yeah. Even though we'd been in school for 3 weeks. Sure. Didn't really feel like it.
Yeah.
A lot of missed time there. So it feels like we're back in. We're doing it. Back into the regular schedule. Mm-hmm. And here we are. It's still too hot. It's because summer. I say we're out of summer. It doesn't really feel like it.
I think we're still in summer for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, at least another month or so.
Yep.
Until Halloween. And then it's like, you got to pick 2 costumes here in Southern California. One that involves shorts and a tank top. What's your costume?
And another one your kids want you to wear, and you have to wear that one.
Yeah. And whatever it is, you're going to be uncomfortable either way. But you just make do.
Shorts and tank top.
But I don't know. Let's get into it. I feel like doing dumb dad moments.
Okay.
You want to just get into it? I don't feel like we're missing anything.
No, let's get into
dumb dad moments. I missed a lot, but it was just mostly school stuff.
Yeah, no, just life moments.
Life moments with our children.
Core memories.
I have actually, no. I will tell you a quick story first because
you just said
I
want to get into the dumb dad moments.
I'm keeping you on your toes, even though you're sitting down. So I want to make sure your heels are not touching the ground right now.
I haven't even leaned forward a little bit.
Wait till you hear this one. Once in a while, we do this where your kid says like something pretty wild, and we don't do this each week because that'd be boring. Mm-hmm. But this was, we're both actors, and quite possibly this last week was one of the best performances I've ever put together. And unfortunately, it wasn't on camera because my son was really struggling with homework stuff. And he forgot his binder and stuff to bring home to do homework.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
hard
we
to
have
do if it's not with you.
Texting the other parents and the parents chat, like, does anybody have math pages 41 to 48? Can you please send them to us? Like this kind of thing. And we're trying to get it through to him like, dude, I know when the bell rings, you're talking to your friends and blah, blah, blah. But like we've had this conversation multiple times with him. Like you got to get your stuff in your backpack so that when you come home, when you have written down your homework in your homework book, like what you're supposed to be doing, that homework needs to be brought home with you.
Yeah.
Like it's, and his excuse is like, well, the day is so busy. And I'm like, do you have time at the end of the day to put your stuff in your backpack before you leave the classroom? Yes. Well, there you go. Okay. I don't know what you can't really argue that. And he was upset because he felt bad about it. And it was like a couple days in a row. And he was in the bedroom. He went into our bedroom and he was like sitting on the bed crying, and we kind of only heard this like he was supposed to be in there doing like his 30 minutes of reading, but we heard him like crying in there, and I went in there and I was like, tell me what's going on. And he was like he was very upset. So understandably he was being really hard on himself, when he knew he kind of had He'd blown it like 3 days in a row. The same serious conversation with him 3 days in a row, and he had done it again.
Overwhelmed.
And he's overwhelmed, and he's in there, he's crying, and I went and sat down. I said, "Bud, what's going on?" He goes, and he was like tears streaming down his face. He could barely talk to me. He was so upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What's going on, buddy?" He goes, I'm so embarrassed, and I'm so mad at myself. And so I've just been sitting out there saying a bunch of really terrible things to myself, and it's just making me feel worse and worse. And he's saying this to me, he can barely get the words out. He's crying so hard.
Yeah.
I said, like, "Well, what are you saying to yourself? Like, what would you be saying to yourself?" And he said, "Well, first of all, that no one loves me anymore, and I'm just a sad sack of oranges sitting on the side of the road." And he was like at his absolute peak of how upset he was. And I didn't smile or laugh.
A sad sack of oranges.
Sitting on the side of the road. That's what he was telling himself that he was. He also said, "No one loves me anymore." And he followed that up with, "I'm a sad sack of oranges sitting on the side of the road." And like, it took everything in my being to not even smile. When you're doing something like on stage or whatever, and someone's like losing it, and you're like, "I got to hold it together, because if I start laughing, then the rest of it's going to go completely south." Mm-hmm. He wasn't laughing, but if I laughed, then that would not help the situation.
But it was already going south.
We all know that.
You were just like, now you kind of checked out.
I checked out because
like
I was like...
supportive parent now just kind of took a coffee break.
Correct, because the comedian side of my brain is like, that's a horrible thing to say to yourself. That's hilarious. But he said it with so much weight that I was like...
Where did he hear this?
I don't know.
Where he learned this term.
I have no idea. I've never heard that before in my life. And yet he equates that to like how low he felt.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
A sad sack of oranges sitting on the side of the road. And I held it together, man. I got to say, I was just stone faced. And I went right into like, well, first of all, I don't like you talking bad about yourself to yourself. That doesn't help you. And I just went right into all the rest of that stuff.
Sure. Supportive parents.
But of course I was compartmentalizing like, that's the funniest thing you've ever said to me. And it's the most inappropriate time for you to have said it to me, because I want to laugh really hard right now. Yeah. I cannot do it.
So I'm not saying we don't love you anymore, but if we say we did start loving you again in this theory that you have.
And the road to recovery of...
What satchel of fruit do you become? Are you...
If oranges are sad. Yeah, I don't know. What's the opposite of that?
I mean, I would have gone...
What's happier than a banana? I don't know. Kind of a smile, if you think about
Bananas, avocados, I mean, people like them. Short shelf life. I don't know. What are we doing here?
I don't know. I literally don't know.
Wow.
It was my favorite moment of the week. My favorite moment of the week, because it was like we got through it and we helped him, and then the next week has been great. And we really has kind of made an adjustment, and like,
sure.
He forgot his homework today again, I will say, but it's
so
but small steps, baby steps.
It is Tuesday.
No, but he's just an orange. He's not a sack of them now. He's just an orange sitting there. And ultimately somebody picked it up and ate it. So it's fine. Anyway, when he said that, I was like, I cannot wait to share that with Kevin. That's like the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. That's not even a sad thing to say.
It's like broke my brain that he would have that phrase. Just
I know.
It's got it probably from his teacher. It's got to be from his teacher.
I guess. I don't know. But again, to equate it to
another kid isn't saying
thing,
that.
I doubt it.
Unless there's a kid who wears like a pork pie hat and suspenders.
Sure.
And he makes his own content in black and white only.
Yeah. And he's the one who
talks
wears
about the New York Mets.
Yeah. He's the one who wears the dunce cap in this corner of the room. And there's just oranges on the floor around him.
He's a sad sack of potatoes just sitting on the side of the road, this fella.
Yeah. Somebody peel me. Okay, back to the dumb dad moments. I just didn't want to forget. I knew I'd forget it if I said it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is kind of a short one and a mundane one, but one of those ones that is a good reminder that your kids are getting smarter by the second. And that I was with my kids. My wife had a busy day at work, or she was working on, I think she was working on a weekend or something like that. She's getting some stuff done. She's like, get the kids out of here. I was like, no problem. Got it. Mission accomplished. Let's go. there's a Target order that needs to be picked up. Let's go do it. And then we're going to go, it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
So the first thing of like 3 things was like, go to Target. Got it. Done. And then we get the kids in the car and I'm like, start driving the car. And I'm like, now my brain is like thinking about the other stuff we got to do. And maybe some other things that dumb dads has to do. And I'm like, not really paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm paying attention to the road, but I'm just driving. There's a difference between like driving with intent and then there's just driving around.
Yeah, I mean, it was a trend on TikTok for a while of just going like, I've been driving
for 20 minutes and I don't know where I am. Yeah. It was kind of like that.
Well, you know where you are, but it's because you only do that when you're on autopilot.
I was
somewhere you've gone a million times. It's the only time that happens. You don't go like, let's go check out Nevada and then just like, where am I?
Oh my gosh. 20 on black.
Yeah. You do on the drive back.
Yeah. It's exactly what it was. I was on autopilot. I was driving somewhere I'd been a million times. However, I was driving somewhere else I'd been a million times.
Oh.
So you know what I'm saying? Like
you went autopilot to a different destination.
To a different destination that
plugged
I'd been
in a different. You plugged something else into the old GPS.
The brain GPS.
Yeah.
And like 4 minutes down the road or whatever, my son behind me goes, "Hey, Dad, aren't we going to Target?" And I go, first of all, yeah. Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Can I get back to my space case scenario that I'm? And he's
interrupted the show.
Goes, well, shouldn't you have gone the other way? And I like kind of like that's that moment. And I look up and I'm like, oh yeah, I went east. Should have gone west on this main road. I don't. And like, there was really nothing to say there, because I said like, yeah, I just. I don't know what I was doing. But then the whole way to Target, I was like, man, that's wild that like he's only 8. If I told him, the thing is like, if I told him like, if we got in the car and I said, direct me how to get to Target, I don't know that he could do it. He probably could.
He might.
But it's like, if he's thinking about it, maybe then all of a sudden he overthinks it. And then he's like, oh man, now all the rest of this looks familiar to me. But he was just kind of like, his mindset was, I know where to go. A couple of the main ways, but I also took a turn that I've never taken before on the way to Target, which is probably what he's thinking.
He probably, if I were to guess, he probably saw landmarks.
Yeah.
To somewhere else.
Passing the wrong way.
His brain knows we don't hit those landmarks going here. Because my daughter does it a lot. My son just started doing it. When we hit certain like landmarks, he'll go, "Are we going to Auntie Uncle's?" And I'm like, "No, we're not." Like
but this is the way we go.
When we started going to the YMCA, it's off the same road.
Yeah.
When we started going there to take them to like swim class and stuff, we would turn to my son and be like, "Are we going to Auntie Uncle's?" And I was like, "That's so cool." No, you idiot.
Yeah. You moron.
No more talking. I'm focusing on the road.
Yeah. The funny thing is, that he made that statement also proves to me like, wow, how often I forget that children are sponges and
they're paying attention.
They are dry, crusty sponges that need some water, and everything they get fed is water. We are old, soggy sponges that are soaked in at the bottom of the sink and disgusting. Yeah. They are just like thirsting for more information and acquire it and memorize it and utilize it like at a rapid rate. And it was so apparent in that moment that it was like, oh man. It wasn't like I didn't do anything wrong. I just, it was like, I probably would have realized it in about 2 seconds when I was like,
I wish he had.
I didn't go the right way. But
I wish he had.
But you've done that many times before when they're like 2 years old. They don't know what's going on, but you think like, well, that's the wrong way. And then you just turn around and it's over.
Oh, yeah.
But he called me on it, and it was like, oh, man.
I got nothing.
And I think this is only going to get worse as I get older. And then it's going to become more embarrassing, and then he's going to make fun of me for it.
That's correct.
So anyway, my back hurts, and I'm getting older.
My daughter.
That's my dumb damn moment.
My daughter has been.
Like a picture in the sun, Kevin.
You got to get your parents back together, Marty.
Nice.
My daughter has been definitely noticing stuff more. She does the landmark stuff. Another one has been, and I don't know when it started. I don't know if it started when I went to I don't think it started when I went to the ER for anxiety. It's definitely been popping up recently with our daughter. And my wife and I are the kids are back in school. Mm-hmm. So our time is our time. Like when they're at school, it's like, all right, you gotta, this is all your only time to do stuff, because not only are the kids back in school, but like my wife and I are going hard in the paint with what is going on in the school year. Like the daughter's at school, and then she's gonna be starting baseball, violin. She takes swim classes. Son's gonna be starting swim classes. Like we're filling up the week fast. And I
know it's crazy how quickly you have nothing. You have no time.
We're deep in it.
Yeah.
I will say it is this time where I don't even have when it's a day that's full. Like we have school, and then you get out, and then you have this from this time to this time, and then maybe something after that even too. Mm-hmm. I have zero guilt about any screen time. Where I'm just like, they come home and I go, do your homework. And then my son goes, can I watch the screen? I go, not until she's done her homework. Sorry. It's just fair. It's going to make the world easier. She does her homework. And then I'm like, you guys go nuts till we have to leave. I don't even care.
Because it's in like 35 minutes.
It is only like
35 minutes. And you can just kind of go nuts because it doesn't really matter.
Let's just coast. But I've been...
And then, oops, by the time we get home, it's time for dinner. And then, oh, God, it's time to go to bed. And then... Hope you enjoyed that 35 minutes, because that's all you got.
So because of that, like I haven't been having noticeable anxiety. It's not gone, but I'm not having like
what. Let me tell you something right now, bro.
I know it's forever.
It's not going away.
But it's like.
But you can manage it, or
I can manage it. I'm not having it to the point where it's like a problem right now, and it's funny because we're so busy. It's just like, all right, run around, do this, and then like you finish that, and now go do a Target pickup, and then like there's just so many things because whatever. So I'm picking the kids up, and lately my wife's done it here and there, and I've been doing it probably more than her. And I'll be driving them, and I just like driving, and my daughter goes, Dad, you all right? And I go, yeah, why? She goes, you just sighed really heavy. You okay? I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate you checking in. I'm good. I am good. Why'd you sigh that hard? I'm approaching 40. And
do you know like a dinner plate that has food overflowing onto the table and onto the floor? That's my plate of responsibility. And you're the grapes, and your mom is the and PTA is the potatoes, and
not a single flat object on the goddamn plate.
We are struggling up here.
And what I would give for one of those fancy plate covers that they put in those fancy restaurants for 5 goddamn minutes.
And the flies are my fucking thoughts. Just pecking away at my responsibilities. And the thing is, like,
and
just
the guy holding the plate has tennis elbow. So the noticing.
Never mind, Dad.
So we had, speaking of going on, little road trips with the kids.
Yeah.
So we have a friend's wedding coming up.
We do.
And so we were like, all right, let's go look at a suit. Let's go look at maybe a new suit for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not in the wedding party, just a guest, but it's like, this is a fun opportunity. Maybe get a new suit. And maybe go with a different color, do something fun. So
I mean, I already did that. I bought a suit a while ago for the wedding. I was really excited about it.
So we went to the outlets because I don't got that kind of cheddar cheese. All right, you got to go to an outlet.
Not yet. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube.
Guys, please review.
Please support us.
The damn podcast.
Should we start a Patreon? Is that what people do?
So we drove to the outlets, the whole family, which. Guys, if you have an opportunity to take your kids to outlets, don't.
Pass on it.
Don't do that.
Yeah, pass on the idea.
So we just thought, all right, it'll be fun because we'll just go. Like, we're not going to go to every store. We're going to go to the, 5, maybe, stores, 6, tops that have men's suits that we can check out. And when we got there and the kids, just went in the stores and they were just like, my daughter is big into fashion. She's got her own style, so she just loses it every time. And she's fine, but it's like my 4-year-old he's a wild man and he's just running around. So it's like
he's hiding in the clothes racks.
Hiding in the clothes racks and just running around and just like, let me find this. And then it's like, all right, we have to leave, which could not be more confusing to our children. to drive somewhere with intention, walk into a store, and go, let's get the hell out of here. And they're like, you didn't get the thing.
Are we stealing something? Are we stealing? Did you grab something? Because I grabbed it. My pockets are really full of
What
stuff.
did he knock over?
How much? Did you go to the bathroom in the dressing room? Do we have to leave right now?
Should we keep our heads down so the cameras don't see our faces? So we hit up, several shops. And
again, just a reminder to the listeners, you walk right past security with a bag. And just
and
fill the bag.
A pound of sours. Anyway. So the mistake my wife and I made was not researching like what was there for.
It's an outlet mall. What's going to be there?
We just thought maybe there'd be like, there's like a Starbucks there. It's not a Starbucks outlet, it's Starbucks. So we're thinking there's also going to be restaurants there, and we could have like a fun lunch there.
There's no restaurants.
No, there weren't. I know that now. No spoilers. I know that. It's the point of the story. Is that we went into store after store and learned a couple things. One,
there's no restaurants.
One, outlets only sell the most generic suits. I wanted to go with a very like earthy green or go with a brown this time. And
they have like
we have
navy,
blue and black.
Yeah, blue, black, and navy.
Dark blue and black.
Maybe
like navy. Yeah, navy, black. Yeah, a couple.
And guess what? Spoiler alert, they've been picked through.
Yeah. And I don't want that. I have those colors.
Sure.
That's what you get in the starter pack of being a grown up.
Yeah. Start with navy. Start there. You don't have a suit? Buy a navy suit.
So we just keep looking, and we just store after store. And my daughter is just getting more and more confused. And then I'm also remembering like the outlets are for normies. They're for the average people. They're not for
Careful, Kevin.
It's not for a 6'3".
There we go. Okay.
Okay. You walk in and they're just like, "Hello, sir. Are you
a fan of showing off your ankles?
Yeah. Are you shopping for your twin from brother who's 8 feet shorter? Because we don't have what you're looking for, freak."
That's unfortunate. Like you're taller than I am, but you're not that tall. I don't think 6'3" is like. Feel like 6'3" is like if you're 6'4" or above, that feels like really tall.
It's insane. I want to know.
Does that feel like when you're shopping, like a lot of the stuff is like close? It's close to fitting you, but you're like, you wish you were 6'2".
It's close. I know it's for cost. I know it's for cost. But they're always just like, you want to make a jacket for someone who's how tall? 6'3". Well, I assume. He's 450. So make the width. So
you got to buy another long. What are you, like a 42 long?
You know what it is? They're probably like, well, there's no way that anyone is actually that tall. The only way it would be if it was filled with children trying to buy an R-rated movie ticket. So make it plenty bulky so that they can
5 children can fill the jacket and
can
pants
fill the jacket, and arms can come out the buttons. So it's only a 2-button situation, and. Yeah, I couldn't find anything. Yeah, I got a 46 long. And it's just, they don't have it. So it was fine. We just went to place after place after place, struck out. There's one spot that had these just rad pants. It's like,
rad pants?
Rad pants. They said rad pants on it. It just said rad across the right leg. Rad. And on the left.
I'm going to be a hit at the wedding.
On the left, pants. Rad pants. No, I really liked the design of them. My wife and I both got excited about them, and it was just pants. They were like, "No, we don't sell a jacket of this." And I was like, "Just get out of here." Anyway, so we're in like panic mode. Like we're well past lunch. We're like, "All right, well, there's Auntie Anne's there," and so we're like, "Let's get the kids some pretzels to hold them over." We do that. Works a treat. I mean, the kids are...
of course.
The kids are pumped about that.
It's a couple of cinnamon sugar pretzels. You bought yourself 2 hours.
Yeah. They just wanted the regular salty ones, and they went for it. They're like a soft pretzel.
Losers.
I don't know. I think they're right. Cinnamon, I think, is fun on the first bite, and then it's the nightmare after that.
Yeah, and then your fingers, and it's all over your... everything. It's everywhere.
Your fingers are sticky, and you... Yeah. Did I chew glass?
It's the beach sand of pretzels.
Yeah. Getting to that. So... Where we are is we're near the beach. And
I didn't even know the story, and I was giving you a segue.
Yeah.
That's how linked in we are.
So it was just like, all right, well, we're here. Let's, the kids were like, do you guys want to go to lunch? And they're like, we're good. I was like, for real? And they're like, yeah. I was like, great. That's awesome. So we found this area. We found this area that like right away was like, this is so cool. We should leave. And it was this area that like I pulled in. It's right by like the parking lot is right next to the beach, and there's no pay to park, which is like already a red flag.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay to be here. I don't like it.
I missed a sign somewhere.
I found a great parking spot. And we get out, and the reason why we picked it, my wife found out that it was just like, there's just sea lions just hanging out on the beach.
Oh.
It was cool. They were all just hanging out, yelling at each other. Just the word. It really, my wife and I were like, this is parenthood. You just watch these sea lions lay down, and then another one just come out of its bedroom and crawl across them
between the parents
and
on
watch
their bed.
the two ones on the bottom go and just like yell at the other one, but ultimately like the ones on the bottom leave and go back into the water, which is the children's bed, and the kid lays out there. And the
kid lays in the big bed on this nice warm sand.
So we watched that, and the reason why it was a red flag is because there were so many people on the beach. Some people in the water swimming with them.
No.
And I was like,
no.
This all seems bad, and it's going to go south real quick.
Yeah. We don't need to wait around to see somebody's kneecap get removed.
I could stand and watch a little bit of it.
Well, I know, with the children.
Yeah. So we told the kids, like, the kids were like desperate to go down to the beach, and I was like, you guys can go down.
You snacks can go down to the beach.
I was like, yeah, they're only your baby toes. You'll grow your adult ones later.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. So we were like, you guys can go down, but you have to like follow instructions, or I'm, picking you up and we're leaving. And they're like, cool. And they were good. But it was just like, it was funny watching adults make just poor decisions. Was just, I watched some dummy walk up to the sea lion and then turn around and like just such a tourist pose, turn to his wife and smile, and then watches a sea lion just turn to him and like,
this is the same video we've all seen of like the person like smiling next to the lion cage. It's they just reach out and grab you.
I was like, that's the last photo of his face.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have one anymore. So like we didn't see anybody get injured, but like the people that were swimming in the water with them, it was like, this is insane.
What?
So now my kids are just like so confused. Because this is
one of those, but they seem pretty friendly.
That's what I mean. The kids have seen no danger. They see grown-ups and children swimming with the sea lions, and they're like, why can't we?
What an interesting lesson you taught them without realizing you were teaching them.
And it was just like, I don't know. I like you guys. I know I never say it, and I usually end the night saying good night, slamming the door, but I want you to know I like you.
We've been practicing Evan's no hugging policy, but we're also not going to hug the sea lions.
I was like, she's trying to like change the subject, move gears, because the kid couldn't wrap their brains around it. Because like we don't want to just say, because people are dumb. These people are dumb. They're making such poor choices, and
there's that sigh again, Dad. You're doing that sigh again.
Shame on all of them. Oh, they all stopped talking right when I started. It's one of those moments, and now everyone's looking at me.
How many people can you count? 24? Yeah. Okay, let's wait at the top of the stairs and see if all 24 come back, because I tell you what, my money's on 22.
So we walked, then we walked the length of like, it was one of those, I don't know, there's a technical term for it. I genuinely don't know. There's like a line of rocks along the beach that goes like really far out. So it was like this walkway, and then right before it breaks off and it just becomes a rock wall that goes out into the ocean, it turns left into another beach. A normal beach. With
sea lion-less beach.
Hanging out and
sharks just swimming around.
Just sharks and that are actually way closer than you think they are. Look it up. It's startling. They're always swimming really close to you. They genuinely don't like humans.
That's why everybody needs a drone. Just throw the drone up, see if from 50 feet there's a shark.
That's what I thought. There is several.
There's one right there. Yeah, it's waiting. Look, he's got a napkin and a fork and a knife.
My wife and I are so just like disappointed because I didn't find a suit. Like, so almost like, well, because like
I forgot that's where it
started. So like in a way, the trip was kind of a waste. The sea lions kind of saved it.
For the kids.
Yeah. No, that was cool. It was cool to see. And now we're just like walking along, and then we get to the beach, and this is where it was like, well, this is a dumb dad moment. Mm-hmm. It was just like we got to the beach part of the beach, and the kids were like, well, I want to go to the beach now. And I was like, well, you can't. We're dressed so poorly for this.
We're dressed for daddy's suit shopping.
Yeah.
That's the apparel we all dressed in.
So my wife and I, we buckled, and we told them they can't go in the water, and we were just a weird family on the beach
in your Sunday best.
In our Sunday best for a half an hour.
And they didn't go in the water?
No, they just played in the sand. They had a blast.
They went in the water.
My daughter was like, "I'm gonna dig the biggest hole," and I was like, "You go for it." My son was like, "How many shells can I get?" And it was very much like a Bluey moment of just like two parents laying down going, just go nuts.
Whatever.
See what you can find. Go nuts.
Either way, at the end of the day, you're
look
putting
at this seashell. That's a cigarette.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And the whole time you're looking at the sea lions going like, see, like that color brown. See how it's kind of like changing browns in the sun? That color brown is the suit I want.
Yeah. Pretty soon,
sea
if
lion
I stay
brown.
In the sun, because we definitely didn't have sunscreen, I'm going to turn that brown. I'll turn red first. And then it'll even out.
For the wedding.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll get my suit. He's wearing what?
Wow.
It was.
Well, keep us updated on the suit you acquire from somewhere.
I'm not going to get a suit. That's a spoiler. It's just not going to happen. I'm just going to get...
Well, not with that attitude, it's not.
I'm just not going to get a suit. I'm just going to get another one. I'm just going to get one of my current suits tailored and get a new shirt.
Okay. Maybe throw in a pair of rad pants. Don't throw that out. Would love a cool pair of rad pants.
Oh, I bought the red. Well, we stole
the red pants. Shoved them in the bag and walked out confidently.
Yep. Eyes down. Don't look at anyone.
That's great. There we are. We're going to a wedding.
Next month.
Sea Lion Brown.
Sea Lion Brown. Do you guys have a Sea Lion Brown suit?
What?
Like when?
Yes, we have plenty, but not in your size. You ogre, get out of here.
Am I related to the sea lions? So that's where we're at, guys. If you have any dumb parent moments similar to that,
if you've ever made one, maybe not.
Kids outings, or didn't even make it to the outing because you're driving the wrong direction, guys. I mean, let us know. We are compiling more dumb parent moments for the next mailbag.
I think we have enough. We need more for another mailbag.
And we're going to keep it going. Guys. So email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. Our handle is @thedumbdads, which is our handle on Instagram, TikTok, XFM,
Twitter. It doesn't matter. Threads. YouTube. It's consistent. YouTube. We're consistent.
We're at the Dumb Dads.
Who would call
Follow
themselves
us on all
dumb?
platforms. Rate and review this podcast if you guys haven't already. Thanks to Everdo on SoundCloud for the music of this podcast. And thanks, as always, to my amazing wife, Annie, for editing this podcast. Evan, do you have a joke?
I do have a joke. And this one goes out to our friend Molly, loyal listener. Little Molly out there in Illinois. So, here we go. Ready? Mm-hmm. What's the king of all school supplies?
What's the king of all school supplies?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The ruler, Kevin. How tired are you? It's the ruler.
Oh, I think it's paper.
Well, arguably, yes. But for the purpose of the joke, it works both ways because a ruler is like a king, like a ruler. But yeah, paper is. You go through a lot of paper, let me tell you that right now. Well, while we soak in all those answers, we'll talk to you next week.
See you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?